Oh, hello, Durud and Shalom. Hi, everyone. I see the chat is already busy. I like that. Make sure you like the stream, guys, so that more people end up coming here. Guys, did you know that by liking the stream, YouTube is going to be like, what? What? This stream is very engaging. People are liking it so much. Let me go grab some other people to come here and watch the stream. So, given that what we're doing is responding to anti Israeli lies and exposing them for what they are, which are lies, you could help by just liking the stream and get more people to come here and get exposed to us showing why these are lies. Oh, let me see. The chat is busy. Jack is here. Heavy Girdle is here. Stephanie is here. And Angry Keyboard Warrior. Unusual AI. Hello, Amit is here. Hello, hello, hello. Flying Robot Duck confirming that you liked. Jewish Samantha, always great to have you here saying shalom and durud. Oh, that's very, and also I think um yes, shalom and durud in both English and well, fantastic. Okay, good, good, good. All right, let's just get started. Delta and Giga is here. Yuva is here. Craig is here. Okay, great. Let's just get started, guys. Let's just listen to you guys. Do you guys know who this is? Are you Dave Smith? He's recently become very famous for his anti-Israeli takes. I don't know if you guys know him. Are you guys familiar with him? I want to see how many people in the chat know this guy. He is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and his main thing is now to be anti-Israeli. Shauna, hey, Shauna is here. Nail Bunny is here. Craig and Delta. Nah, Stephanie, you don't? Oh my god. Yep. Okay. Let's just get. Well, let me introduce you guys to his horrible takes. I don't even know what this first video is going to be, but let's take a look.
America first means we don't go to war on behalf of other countries. But you wouldn't know about that, Ben Shapiro, because you're not America first, as we all know you're Israel first. Tell me something, Ben Shapiro. When Netanyahu said in 1992 that Iran was 1 to 3 years away from a nuke, and then when he said they were 1 to 3 years away from a nuke, again and again and again,
Iran will be capable of producing nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Is getting extremely close. Iran racing to develop nuclear weapons.
Iran is gearing up to have 250 bombs in a decade.
At most, by next summer, they will have finished.
Weeks away for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
To make a bomb very quickly.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be within a few months.
Was he wrong? Or was he trying to lie my country into another war just like he did with Iraq and Libya and Syria? Which one do you think?
Okay, let's respond to this line by line. That was so many lies packed into 54 seconds. Oh, we got in a super chat. Wow, guys, we don't usually get super chats right at the beginning of the show. Thank you so much, Shana. Saying, I know him. By the way, guys, I will read super chats during the show. So if anybody wants to support the channel with super chats, and also becoming a member is a really good way to support the show. So Sean is saying, I know him from my libertarian days. He's an anarcho-capitalist. He's an ANCAP. Weird. Okay. Yes. By the way, libertarianism and being anarcho-capitalism are not the same thing. So I'm glad that you're not. Yeah. I mean, I'm technically still a libertarian, but anarcho. I think a lot of people misunderstand what libertarianism is about. Anyways, let me get back to the topic. But good, Shauna, that's interesting. So, and thank you for the super chat. So let's respond to him line by line. Let's listen.
America first means we don't go to war on behalf of other countries.
Okay. First of all, why wouldn't we apply that standard to Israel then? Because not only United States is not going into wars on behalf of Israel, look how retarded these people are. Because that should be the complaint that Israel should be making towards United States, not the other way around. Like, look how they live in a opposite land. Right? It's Israel who is going into wars on behalf of United States. It's Israel that is paying most of the price fighting America's enemies. And instead of these people realizing that and being grateful for it, they are condemning Israel, and they actually think that it's the United States that is going into wars on behalf of Israel. Israel doesn't have that much power. I know that you want to make a big boogeyman here, this great devil that is controlling everything and manipulates everything. But it's not that. United States has gotten the better end of this deal by a huge margin. In fact, Israelis should be complaining. Why is it that it's our soldiers that are dying? Why is it that we are paying? We're in the battlefields. Why is it that we're in the front line where this is your enemies as well? Why are Americans not present in these wars, given that these are your enemies? I mean, United States is basically supporting Israel, but honestly, Israel is supporting United States so much more than what it's getting from United States. Which war has the United States entered on behalf of Israel? Do you have one example? Do you have, guys, anybody in the chat? Do you have a single example of a war that United States has entered on behalf of Israel? Because I can tell you that I could give you examples of so many the other way around. In fact, every single war that Israel has been part of, it has been fighting America's enemies. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. If you would expect Americans to be grateful, but if they cannot be grateful, the least they could do is not attack your allies. Like, where are they getting this from? The idea that America is fighting Israel's enemies. Like, where, when, how? Do you have a single example? Do they have an example? Oh, thank you so much, Avitova. Just become a member. Let me highlight that. Guys, becoming a member is a very good way of supporting this channel. So thank you for that. Does anybody know what he's talking about? I suspect the example that they want to give is the Iraq war. The toppling of Saddam. And if they do give that as an example, then they're obviously retarded, because there were so many American politicians at that time that were promoting that and wanting. They just have one clip of Netanyahu saying that was a good idea, and they just use that clip to suggest that it was his idea, as if we don't remember. I mean, I don't know, maybe you guys are too young, but I remember that it was American politician after politician after politician that was at that point making the case why they should be attacking Saddam. This was not because of Netanyahu, just because Netanyahu also thought that this is a good idea. It wasn't because there are so many other things that United States has done against the wishes of Israel, and for you guys to go cherry pick the wars that United States has been involved with, that Netanyahu also agreed with, is such a lazy way. It's basically such a lazy, pathetic, desperate attempt to try to suggest that it's Netanyahu who's controlling America. You know what it's like? It's like if you come and tell me, like, hey, I'm gonna buy this car, and I say, that is a nice car, and then you go buy it, and somebody recorded me saying that was a nice car. You're like, oh, you made him do it. No, me agreeing with his decision doesn't mean that by the way, that's the only evidence they have. Ask him for another evidence. Ask him for another evidence to suggest that Israel was responsible for the United States attacking Saddam and toppling him. They all will just show you that clip of Netanyahu just saying, like, yeah, this would be a good idea. That's it. That's their evidence. They have nothing else. Oh, let me see. We have another super chat by Shauna. You're very generous. You keep supporting this channel. So Shauna saying, dude, do you think that sending any money abroad is going to war? Oh, okay. They also have conspiracies about the war machine. And so if they tax, yeah, this is a problem I have with some libertarians. I mean, as a libertarian, I think that you're trying to save money. They're against spending money on military libertarians, but the whole point of being a libertarian is for the government to save a lot of money, not doing things that it's not good at, so it could focus on the things that it's good at, that it's supposed to do, which is the military. Like the reason why we're trying to cut costs in government is so that we could have a bigger military, because that's the government's job. And that's what so many libertarians don't understand. They're against the so-called war machine because it costs a lot of money, instead of being proud of how amazing the army of their country is. To get the fact that they get to afford having the greatest army on earth is supposed to be a source of pride. And then also Yoshana continues, and so if any tax dollars goes overseas, it's essentially the same as troops on the ground. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's I could see that that's some of the reasoning, which is again stupid. I mean, if you don't want here, let me tell you guys, if you don't want, as an American, I know there's a lot of Americans here, okay? It makes sense for Israelis to want the best thing that is for Israel, and Americans to want the best thing that is for America, right? Everybody should push for what's best for the country, right? So it makes sense as an American for you to say, like, yeah, I would like it if our enemies could just be neutralized without us going into war. Like, wars are costly. It would be very nice if we could somehow figure out a way not to participate in wars and somehow get these mofos killed, right? Guess what? That's what you get from, but that's what you get from supporting Israel. That's exactly what you're getting as Americans. If you are an American who is trying to do the most efficient thing to keep America out of wars, the best way to keep America out of wars is to support Israel. Do you know how many more wars? These people think America has been in more wars because of Israel. It's the other way around. If Israel was not a country, if Israel was not there in the Middle East, United States right now would have been involved in so many more wars. These people that Israel is fighting, Israelis are fighting, their ultimate goal is to come for America. That's why they're fighting Israel. The whole point of fighting Israel is not, this is actually one of those cases that it's not just because they're Jews. You know how many times it's actually because of Jew hatred? This is one of those cases that it's not just because they're Jews. It's because they're standing in the way. I always told you the plan was to create a bloc. After the Cold War, we had the West, and during the Cold War, we had the West and the Soviet Union. When the Soviet Union collapsed, at first there was an attempt to make another bloc, a power bloc against the West, which was a pan-Arab empire, and Israel stopped. And again, the pan-Arab empire, Jamal Abdel Nasser, that was trying to make that a thing, he understood that Israel is in the way. That's why they all attacked Israel. Okay, but to create a bloc that we used to have the Soviet Union and the US and the Western powers. Then in replacement of the Soviet Union, we were supposed to have a pan-Arab empire, and Israel didn't let that happen. And then after the pan-Arab empire and the PLO and all of these other pan-Arab terrorists, then we had the Islamic Empire. The Islamic Empire, the goal was to create an Islamic bloc, just like the Soviet Union against the West, to have an Islamic bloc, an Islamic empire against the West, to fill the gap that the Soviet Union used to be, right? But again, the Muslim Brotherhood project failed. They never managed to get a control over any country in the way that they wanted. But those ideas made its way into Iran, and it caused the Islamic Revolution. And then we had the Shia version of what the Sunni Muslim Brotherhood wanted to do. So what you have in the Vilayat Faqih ideology in Shia Islam is just what came out of the Muslim Brotherhood. We had actually, through Nawab Safavi, again, I could go into a lot of details regarding that with you guys if you want. But then, so the project now, what didn't work in Egypt, started in Iran, a Shia version of it, and they saw Pahlavi is the main barrier against, we want to destroy the Western imperialism and Zionism, and Pahlavi is in our way. So they took down the Pahlavi dynasty, and they now realize, just like the Pan-Arabists realize, that Israel is in their way in the Middle East. So they need to remove Israel. And then what they want to do, the third phase of this project, is to attack the Western order, the world liberal order that dominates the entire world right now. So Israel is in their way. So if Israel was not there, you would be fighting these people head on. You would be there. It would be your ships there. It would be your planes there. It would be your soldiers there. And it would be so much more costly because you're not of there. You're not in the neighborhood. It's so much more costly to fight these people so far away from your borders. It would be astronomically more expensive, and it would cost so many American lives. And now Israeli soldiers are dying instead of American soldiers, and the least you could do is say thank you. And these idiots, instead of thanking them, are blaming them for getting them involved in more wars. In more wars. You would be in so many more wars if Israel was not there. So many more wars. Well, Amit just uses membership. Let me see. Oh, Ginga just gave us a super chat saying, still waiting for... Wait, let me see. I don't see the flags here. I would need to look at. Still looking for United States to lose to the Islamic Republic, like David said. Oh my God. Do we have... Ginga, can you send me that clip? Can you send me that clip? Here's my email. That's my email. Guys, if you guys wanted me to review somebody, send me an email and send me the link to the video and the exact minute and second where they said something, okay? And you give me 5 of something of it. Like, don't give me just one, so I could make a full video. If you want me to review somebody, but make sure it's good. All right, thank you, Ginga, for the super chat. And also, Amit used his super chat to saying, Armin, you should start multi-stream on Kick too. I don't think StreamYard connects to Kick, does it? I'll look into it. Okay, thank you, Amit. All right, let's continue with his another nonsense. Guys, I do such a good job answering. You see, he says a lie in like a few seconds. Like, this was just the first 5 seconds of his video, and I did such a good job responding to it. So like the stream and recommend this channel to more people. I think we're a very effective channel when it comes to responding to... I know my shit. I know my stuff. And these people don't even have the basic understanding of what they're talking about. So it's really easy to dismantle all their arguments, okay?
You wouldn't know about that, Ben Shapiro, because you're not America first. As we all know, you're Israel first.
Yeah, America first means realizing that America is powerful because of its relationship with its allies. No country has ever become powerful by being an isolationist. No country has ever become great by trying to keep it all inside its country, by trying to just rely on itself. And having allies means also that you need to support your allies. Abandoning your allies is not America first. Okay, abandoning your allies is actually America last. So you need to be there for your allies when they need you, because that's the secret to greatness for countries. And that's why the history of the United States involves it being present for his friends and allies when they needed them, and also having trade relationship with them, and also militarily supporting them. This is exactly how you do. This is actually how you do America first. I mean, this is why America became such a great country.
Tell me something, Ben Shapiro. When Netanyahu said in 1992 that Iran was 1 to 3 years away from a nuke, and then when he said they were 1 to 3 years away from a nuke, again and again and again,
Iran will be capable of producing nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
Is getting extremely close. Iran racing to develop nuclear weapons.
Iran is gearing up to have 250 bombs in a decade.
At most, by next summer, they will be finished.
Weeks away for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
To make a bomb very quickly.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be within a few months.
Was he wrong? Or was he trying to lie
He wasn't wrong, and he wasn't trying to lie. Listen to this.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be within a few months.
Was he wrong? Or was he trying to lie my country into another war just like he did with Iraq and Libya and Syria?
Why do people think that this is such a gut shoot? Like, are you retarded? Do you not understand that he was right every single time? I know this. My country is Iran. I know that Netanyahu was correct every single time he said that they're this close to having a nuclear weapon. He was correct every single time. Do you know why they did not get a nuclear weapon, even though he was correct every single time? Because Israel stopped it, you fucking moron. Because Israel got in the way. Did you not see the operations? The unbelievably amazing operations that Israel conducted in Iran every single time to save the entire, not just to save Israel, but to save the entire planet from a nuclear Islamic Republic? Are you fucking kidding me? Do you not know that? Every single time Israel came and told the world, like, idiots, these religious loons are going nuclear. And the world did not do shit about it. And Israel had to do the job that the rest of the world did not have the balls to do. Do you not understand that? They came to you telling you that, guys, hello, do you want a world with a nuclear Islamic Republic? Are you awake? Can you see what's happening? And the world like, doo-doo-doo. We know. I mean, the world was not stupid. I think the world realized, like, I think you're gonna take care of it, Israel, for us. Again, this is why it's so unbelievably ungrateful. Like, these people are so ungrateful when Israel is putting in the work, paying the cost for saving the entire world, and look at them, so ungrateful. They came to you telling you that the Islamic Republic is getting nuclear so that maybe you want to participate in stopping them. But no, it was Israel every single time that it had to do what the rest of the world didn't have the backbone to do. So no, he was not wrong. You guys, you just, like, look how lazy this is. They just went and found some clips from Netanyahu saying, like, oh, they're going nuclear. And they didn't go nuclear. Ah, he was wrong. No, he was not wrong. They actually took action to stop it. They took action to stop it every single time. And you know what the problem is? The problem is that the Islamic Republic learned every single time that is when every time Israel used a virus, used spies, used explosives to delay the Islamic Republic having nuclear weapons. Every single time the Islamic Republic learned how to try to avoid getting Israel to stop them the second time or the third time. So every time Israel had an attack, the Islamic Republic went and learned from what Israel did, and they tried to come up with ways for Israel not to be able to do it a second time. So unfortunately, the Islamic Republic was getting better every single time as well. And Israel always knew that they will come to a point where the Islamic Republic will figure out how to go nuclear and basically close every single way for Israel to come and destroy. They kept on going deeper and deeper and deeper into the mountains and into the ground and deep into the mountains. And they kept on coming up with ways to figure out how to try to stop Israel from destroying their nuclear facilities. And Israel realized that there's going to be a point where they have to actually go in with their planes inside Iran to be able to stop them. And even that's not going to be enough. Because right now, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, the Islamic Republic has started enriching uranium in a new area, much deeper than Fordo, in a way that there is no bombs that could actually reach. So, and again, this makes our prediction show that it was correct, that the only way that the Islamic Republic can be stopped from going full nuclear is by toppling the regime. There is no other way. And Israel has always just tried to delay the Islamic Republic going nuclear until you get to the point where there's nothing else you can do other than toppling the regime. And again, I hope you guys understand that the toppling of the regime is impossible without the help of Iranian people. So that's why we need cooperation between Iranians and Israelis. Israelis will bring the air power, the spies, the commandos, the spy networks that they have, and the Iranian people will be the boots on the ground. That's the combination. That is the unity that we right need. Like both of them, basically both the Iranian people and the Israeli people have something that the other side doesn't have. Right? The Israelis have the firepower, the intelligence operations, and the spy network and commandos. By the way, the commandos on the ground, we just recently got some information. I don't know if I should make a show. These are the Mossad commandos on the ground in Iran. They're Iranians. They're young Iranians, and some of them don't even get paid because they're doing it because they're trying to save their country. So when we talk about Mossad commandos, in Iran, I hope a lot of you understand that we're not talking about Israelis. We're talking about Iranians. Israel just came out and revealed that they have been training Iranians inside of Iran to do their commando operations. So remember, every time, we should, when we're talking about intelligence operations inside Iran, we're talking about Iranians, from Israel, under the direction and training of Israel. And there's apparently a lot of them. And Israel actually came and said that it's so easy to hire, to find Iranians to work for Mossad and Israel and become commandos and spies in Iran, because there's so many people who want to do this out of their sense of duty to the country. So apparently some of them get paid. Some of them have been given promises to be brought to foreign country for educations, but there's also a lot of them who are just doing this because they think it's the right thing to do. And they're saying that it's just so many. There's just so many to hire from Iran. Yeah, so this is what it takes. This is what it takes. And again, I know Israel, once the Islamic Republic is attacked again, Israel will be demonized so much because Israel is doing the world's dirty work, what the rest of the world is not willing to do. And when that happens, because we know that the second and maybe the third war between the Islamic Republic and Israel is going to happen at some point. We know that's going to happen. And the whole world is going to be ready to demonize Israel when that happens. And we're going to be here ready to show. Again, by the way, guys, I know a lot of Israelis send me videos to Iranians showing support, and I have those ready for the day that Israel attacks again. We're going to make a show playing those, okay, from all of them, because I showed some of them, but something happened in Iran that I had to go. But we will play all of that to show the unity between Iranians and Israelis when that war happens, when the second round of the war happens. All right, let me actually go to this second video. Let's see what this one is. What is this?
You got to stop in a.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Ahmed in the chat is saying, what is you, Zionist or anti-Zionist? Ahmed, you're not very smart, are you? I'm proudly Zionist. These people are so used to Israeli-related content to be anti-Israel, they cannot believe somebody is actually here defending Israel. Yeah, let's go. Look, this guy saying Smith will smoke your ass like a blunt. Oh, based on what he's saying right now, it's actually really easy to wipe the floor with in a debate. He doesn't know shit. Like he doesn't even know the basics of what he's talking about. So let's listen to this.
Hold on. You got to stop interrupting and let him finish the sentence.
So the tragedy that's been inflicted on Gaza is orders of magnitudes greater than October 7th. Even if you had the right, let's say somebody broke onto your property and killed some of your family members and you want to go kill this guy. If he goes back to his apartment building and you know that there's women and children in that apartment building, and so your move is to blow up the building, what you would be charged with is murder in the first degree. cold-blooded, premeditated, intentional murder. And you could sit there and tell the judge, I didn't want to kill all those people. Why would I want to kill all of those people? I just had to kill that one guy. But that's not what counts. You did it intentionally. You dropped a bomb knowing that there were women and children in that building. That is intentionally murdering innocent people. And if you're going to advocate for this war, so why can't you just say, yes, that price is acceptable? Because then we could have a real conversation about why the other side is going to look at you like a monster.
Okay, do you guys know why that is so stupid? Do you guys understand that based on his way of evaluating who's a monster and who's not a monster, then every single country on this planet will become a monster because every country has an army. The point of an army is to fight back when somebody attacks you, and every time you fight back, the civilians from the other side would die. Like, guys, have we had any all-out war between two countries ever where civilians from the other side didn't die? So based on this, there could be no war ever. No country would ever be able to defend themselves. Like, the whole point of having a military and being able to advertise your deterrent capabilities to stop wars will go away. I mean, based on what Dave is saying here, if you actually believe that, that's a recipe for having more wars. Do you understand why that's a recipe for having more wars? I want you to pay attention to this. If you think that when I attack, if I know civilians from the other side die, and if I have that knowledge, that means that I shouldn't be fighting back when somebody attacks me. That means that no war would ever be justified. Because any war that you enter will have civilians from the other side die. And it's impossible. It's impossible for you to conduct war without civilians from the other side dying. And if no war would be justified, so the whole point of having an army to demonstrate your deterrent capabilities would be pointless. It wouldn't make any more sense. And if you cannot advertise your deterrent capabilities, that's just like that is just basically an open invitation to your enemies to attack you. If people can attack you, and if you responding is unjustified because civilians from the other side die, that means that anybody could attack you and there is no way for you to respond, because any response will kill civilians from the other side. That's a very important concept for you guys to understand. And let me see. So, thank you so much for the super chat saying our IDF warns residents to evacuate before they bomb. IDF, yes. And thank you so much for the super chat. But IDF does more than that. IDF does way more than IDF does that. You're right, and so much more to reduce civilian casualties. The IDF has done more than any army in the history of modern warfare to try to reduce civilian casualties from the other side. More than anybody, and the numbers show it. The numbers show it. They have done an amazing job. They have broke their record when it comes to reducing the number of civilian to combatant, the ratio of civilians to combatants. They have broken the record in lowering that number. And thank you for the super chat. But also the example that he gave was a false analogy. Dave, let me give you an example that would make more sense, right? Imagine somebody comes to my house. I have 5 kids, okay? He comes to my house, he kills one of my kids, and then he kidnaps 2 of them. Or no, he kills 2 of my kids and he kidnaps one of them. And he takes my kid to his house, right? I grab my gun, for example. I grab my weapons to go and try to save my kid. And I go there. And by the way, he also mentioned that he will come back for my other kids. And I go there first to get my kid, to the one that he has, but also to try to eliminate the threat to my other kids back at home. And then I get to his house and he has my baby in his arm, but he also has his own baby in his arm. As he has my baby and he has his own baby for extra measure. And I have my weapon and I could take him out knowing that he has promised, and I know that he's going to come for my other kids and my wife if I don't stop him. And I have him, I could take the shot knowing that I could potentially take out my own baby, but also his baby. Okay, I know his baby is not at fault here, but for some reason he's holding his own baby as well as shield, right? If I take the shot and I take out his baby and him, would I be blamed? Was I justified to do this, to save my family? I think I was justified. That's the example. That example, I mean, the example that you gave was a false analogy, and you gave that example because Israel is doing such a good job in defending itself. But you have to, because you cannot demonstrate that it's evil, you have to just come up with a ridiculous example. Somebody saying, yes, you committed murder, you moron. No, you moron, you were justified. Whatever you want to label it, I don't give a shit what you want to label it. If I kill somebody in an act of self-defense, if you want to call it murder, I don't care what you want to get. That was not even the question. You're such an idiot. You don't even know that I wasn't talking about whether it's a murder or not. I'm asking you if it's justified. Obviously, it's justified if you're trying to save your family. Guys, somebody is saying, report this propaganda donkey. Guys, please, like you can see, please like the stream because there are a lot of people who do not like to hear the truth. And that's why they're trying to silence us by reporting this channel. But they're trying to silence us by reporting this channel. So please like the stream so that you could undo what they're doing. Please make sure you like the stream. Thank you. I see a lot of people here, and also let them know how much you appreciate this channel so that they see, because they look, somebody said the world hates you, all right? They said the world hates you. So if you're here and you appreciate what I'm doing, please mention in the chat that we're doing good work here, because a lot of these people think that the chat is full of anti-Israeli haters and they think that they're dominant. So please also show some love to this channel so that they see that, I am not alone, that you guys are with me. Thank you, guys. So that is okay. Let me see. Oh, by the way, guys, regarding the number of people dying, because he said there's more people died on the Gazan side than Israel side, and yes, that's true. Every single one of those deaths is because of Hamas, because Israel has done more. It has gone above and beyond what is internationally. What international law requires it to do to try to reduce civilian casualties. It cannot do anything more than that. So these numbers are the lowest numbers that you could possibly see when it comes to Israel, and Israel has to defend itself. Israel has no choice but to defend itself. So the responsibility for Israel is to get the numbers of people, civilians killed, as low as possible. But anything lower than that means that it shouldn't that it cannot defend itself, because you're basically asking something that is so unreasonable, something that you don't ask of any other country. Again, when United States was fighting ISIS, they had a higher civilian to combatant ratio death and they weren't even fighting the enemy in such a high population high then so in a place that has the highest second population density in the world, right? Yeah, I think it's number 2. Gaza is number 2. And also when United States was fighting ISIS, the enemies were clear who's the enemy and who's not, because they had their uniform. Hamas doesn't wear a uniform, and also ISIS wasn't using human shields as much as Hamas is, right? So it's amazing that Israel is doing such a good job in Gaza compared to United States, and United States is not getting condemned. I mean, Dave Smith is saying Israel is evil because what they're doing in Gaza, because they took part in attacks that they knew civilians would die, and they did those attacks anyway. I mean, based on that standard, America, his own country, I mean, he usually has an American flag behind him, but based on that standard, his country is more of an evil country than Israel, because Israel has done more than United States to try to reduce civilian casualties. So based on that standard, he should be anti-American. He shouldn't be having the American flag behind him on his shows. I mean, based on that, almost every country would be an evil country based on that standard. Yeah, and also, guys, regarding to the proportionality, because people keep saying that, oh, they killed 1,200, this side 60,000 people die. So this is and they say the principle of proportionality has been violated. And please understand, they don't know what they're talking about, because according to international law, proportionality just means that you weigh expected civilian harm versus the concrete military advantage before you take the strike. It doesn't mean that you have to match the casualty numbers. Okay, that's a very important. They keep saying proportionality, and it's so obvious that they haven't actually looked into what that means, because they just think it's about the number of casualties. So now you know. So please use that to explain this to them. Oh, we got another super chat. Let me look at this super chat. Thank you guys for the super chat. Again, if anybody does super chats, it's a really good way to support the channel, and I will read the super chats when I get them. So, oh, this is your new name here, laid back pedal pusher. Okay, say this is a great source of information, and Armin is a reason analyst. I watch when I can. Well, thank you so much. That gives me a lot of motivation and energy. Thank you for saying that. Oh, that's sweet. All right, let's go to the next video. Wait, hold on. Let's look at this one. Thank you. Oh, Amir is giving me hearts as well. Oh, Toro, you just became a member again. Thank you, Toro, for supporting the channel. All right. Let me remove this. Okay, that's good. All right, let's play this. Let's see what he says over here.
If Donald Trump actually does launch a war in Iran, not only will I not support it, I will apologize for the rest of my life for voting for the guy. That undoes any positive that might have come out of this. So just to be clear on that, I'm sorry, I can't about this. Like, come on. You're flirting with another war for Iran. You're completely unwilling to stand up to these Israelis on anything. You're now even sabotaging your own legacy and your own administration just to do their bidding. What can you say about this?
Again, obviously, he doesn't have any clue what just happened. Again, this shows that these people don't even have a surface level understanding of what happened. United States didn't, when they went and bombed Fordo and Natanz and the nuclear site in Isfahan. Not only was that not Israel's bidding, apparently we learned later that was the whole. They did that so that they could stop Israel. They took out Fordo so that they could say that, hey, Israel, we took out the nuclear sites, so you don't have to continue the war. That, and again, that's why when the Israeli planes went right before the ceasefire that Trump forced upon Netanyahu, when they were going there to finish the job and take out Khamenei, Trump stopped Netanyahu and they forced Israel to pull back the planes. Again, you must not. This is what happens when you get your news from TikTok, I think, right? This is what happens when you don't pay attention to what happened to what was going on. Like, even if you just read a few articles and follow the news a little bit, you realize what happened. That was not the attack that they did was not doing Israel's bidding. In fact, it stopped Israel. They used it to force Israel to stop the war because they said the nuclear sites have been bombed. If they didn't do that, the Islamic Republic would have been toppled by now. because the intention of Israel was to take out Khamenei and basically topple the regime. We're dealing with the Islamic Republic because Trump forced Israel to stop the war. So again, it's too easy. They don't even know the basics. It's too easy to attack these people. Let's go to this one. Hold on, what he says here. This is too easy for me. I like
what that guy said. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Wow, so classy. Okay, so I like what that guy. Somebody says, "Fuck Israel." Oh, I like that, but that guy says, "Yeah, sure." Okay.
I like what that guy said. Benjamin.
So when you like that, what that guy said, that means that your problem. So somebody said, "Fuck Israel," and he said, "I like what that guy said," right? So you're completely against a nation state as a whole. It's not against the people, against an entire nation, right? This is not you being against, certain strategies, certain plans of the government. You are, and it shows that when people criticize Israel, it's not because Israel is doing something wrong. These people are just anti the entire country. And that's why Israel learns from its history and all of the people who are against it that there's no point appeasing these people. There's no point trying to give in to change behavior to make the rest of the world happy, because the problem is not with what you did here or what you did there or what you stand for over there or what your government. They say fuck Israel, like as in the entire country. They're against the entire nation state. I mean, how anti-liberal do you have to be to just stand for an independent nation state that is recognized, its existence has been recognized by the United Nations and every other country except the Islamic Republic, I think. And you're against all of that. You're against the people, you're against the land, you're against everything. So why should Israel even change its behavior when you're so fundamentally anti its very existence? You could, like, if he said, like, I don't know, fuck Netanyahu or fuck like this plan or that strategy or those specific people. No, the entire country. So that means that we shouldn't listen to you guys because you have such deep hatred for Israel that has blinded you. I mean, for example, I try to be careful not to say anything. Sometimes I catch myself because I don't want to be anti-Russia. We're anti-Putin. We're not anti-Russia, okay? We're not anti-China. We're anti-CCP. We're not anti-North Korea. We're anti-Kim. In fact, we love North Korea. We hope someday North Korea could be liberated and the people in North Korea could be free. So we're not even anti-North Korea because, but these people are anti-Israel. So let's listen to this.
I like what that guy said. Benjamin Netanyahu came and testified before Congress in 2002, and he said with certainty that if we overthrew Saddam Hussein, democracy would sweep the region. He also advocated...
I mean, he's right. It just takes some time. I mean, I don't know if he gave us a timeline for that, but we're still... Guys, people criticize Netanyahu for suggesting that, removing Saddam and the Islamic Republic will bring democracy in the region because it hasn't happened yet. I mean, I don't know. Go look at the French Revolution and look what happened after the French Revolution. The French Revolution was supposed to bring democracy, a republic, the rule of the people. And what happened after the French Revolution? We had a bigger tyrant. Napoleon came to power. He crowned himself, and he became a bigger tyrant than the people that were there before him, right? We had a bloodbath in France. We had people chopping off heads like never before. And after that, instead of bringing democracy, we had Napoleon, right? And so if you looked at that, you would be like, hey, the French Revolution was a failure. Wouldn't you look like an idiot now? The French Revolution is the reason why we have, liberal democracy all around the world. I mean, the French Revolution and after that, the American Revolution are the two events that made the world, democratic. So, but if you just judged it based on what came after it, that would be so short-sighted, wouldn't it? So maybe don't judge how fundamental how useful removal of Saddam was only a few years after you've done that. Like maybe you should give it some more time. I mean, things in Iraq are looking better now. I mean, things in Iraq would have looked so much better now if you get most of the problems in Iraq come from middling of the Islamic Republic. So maybe instead of criticizing Netanyahu, you should listen to him completely. So we need the removal of Saddam and the removal of the Islamic Republic to bring democracy in the region. Just removing one of them is not good enough. So let's continue.
Saying democracy would sweep the region. He also advocated that we had regime change in Libya, Syria, and Iran.
I mean, that makes complete sense. That makes why wouldn't he argue for doing regime changes in countries with regimes that are a threat to the very existence of his country?
And he's still advocating that to this day. You must recognize.
Yeah, he's still advocating that now for Iran. And me as an Iranian, I'm so grateful that he's advocating that, because not many world leaders have the balls to do that. You know, not that many world leaders are that brave to come out and say what needs to be said. As an Iranian, we Iranians look up to Netanyahu because he's the only politician out there that comes out and says what needs to be done. And we hope, and the rest of the world is acting all cowardly. It's only one leader and it's only one country that is doing the job that is necessary. And we hope that, as an Iranian, I hope what Netanyahu is saying one day comes true for Iran.
That anyone advocating that America go fight another stupid, catastrophic war in the Middle East is your enemy. They are.
Okay, well, then you are our enemy, because without Israel, United States would be involved in so many more wars in the Middle East. He said if anybody advocates for United States to go fight wars in the Middle East, is your enemy. Okay, Dave, without Israel fighting America's wars in the Middle East, America would be forced to be involved in so many more wars in the Middle East. There would be once the Americans see what lives they would be living back at home, if I don't know, if a pan-Arabist empire or an Islamic empire was controlling all of the oil in the Middle East because Israel was not there to stop them, and what their lives today would look like. I mean, I think the United States might have been much closer to a third world country if there was a pan-Arabist or a pan-Islamic empire controlling that much of the oil of the world. I don't think the United States would be so far away from being a superpower. And I bet you so many of you would not be able to afford a fraction of the lives that you enjoy today in America if Israel was not there stopping that from happening. So, and given how necessary it was to make sure that the flow of energy to the world was not disrupted by these pan-Arabist or Islamic terrorists, United States would have been, without Israel, United States would have been forced to get involved in so many more wars to make sure that that does not happen. And so many more American soldiers would have died. But you don't realize that because you're basically an idiot when it comes to geopolitics. I mean, all you know is like, America first, let's not get involved. You just repeat that like a parrot without actually knowing the nuance behind what you're talking about.
Is your enemy. They are our enemies. Anyone who advocates that, if they
see the things that he says, there's no logic behind it. It just sounds good. Like, they're our enemies if they want to get us involved in war. Like, there's no, when you watch them in debates, they just say stuff that sounds charismatic, and people are like, and because it requires no thinking, it requires no deep analysis of the situation on the ground.
Start talking to you about fighting a war with Iran, you treat them like an enemy that they are. They are not on your side.
First of all, fuck you for referring to the Islamic Republic as Iran. Fuck you, because when you say they go to war with Iran, they're not going to war with Iran. They're going to war with the enemies of Iran. They're going to war with, as an Iranian, I will tell you that when they go to war with the Islamic Republic, they're going to war with the greatest enemy of Iran and the Iranian people. anything that could be considered Iranian is not the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic has been the greatest enemy of anything that could be considered Iranian. So fuck you for even saying that.
People do not want to fight any more wars in the Middle East, period.
Okay, if you don't want to fight any more wars in the Middle East, support Israel because they're fighting those wars. Because they have the balls to go there, go where it's needed. Guys, please make sure you share these live streams. You not only you like it, and if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification, but also share these live streams with more people because more people need to see the responses that I have to this bullshit because I'm doing a very good job in answering these motherfuckers. Okay, what is this one? Let me watch this one, and then I need to go. Okay, after this one, I'm gonna go to my personal channel, guys. My personal channel. Wait, hold on. Let me see. What am I reviewing today on my personal channel? Let me bring it up. Yeah, okay. So on my personal channel, we talk about business and growing an audience and stuff like that. We're using AI and other tools. It's not about politics, but if you guys enjoy listening to me, and if that community over there is much smaller, there's a very small group in the live chat there that we hang out and we talk about, business and content creating stuff over there. And the next live stream that I have on my personal channel is called If You Have 0 Followers, Grow Your Channel with AI. So if somebody is just getting started and they want to grow their channel with using AI, I'll go over in that live stream in about half an hour from now. I'm going to go live there and talk about that. Okay. So again, you could search for my channel. The link to that channel is in the description, but you could also just search for it. YouTube is Armin Nava. Okay, so let's do this video and then we'll hop over there. Let's play.
Said, if I was a young Palestinian, I'd be a terrorist too.
Wait, who said that?
Ehud Barak, who said, if I was a young Palestinian, I'd be a terrorist too. And it's not because they are just all possessed by evil and Jew hatred. The truth is that the creation of Israel involved 750,000 Palestinians being kicked off of their land. And
no, it's not because of that. It's because they're brainwashed since birth. Yeah, guys, if I was born in Gaza, I would probably be a terrorist too. If I was born in Gaza and you start brainwashing me since birth, I would probably be either a terrorist today or a terrorist sympathizer. That's not the reason, you idiot. The reason is because they're brainwashed. And also, let me see. Yeah.
They are just all possessed by evil and Jew hatred. The truth is that the creation of Israel involved 750,000 Palestinians being kicked off of their land. And
they were kicked off. No, they weren't kicked off of their land. They abandoned the land because Arab countries attacked Israel. What? Wait, hold on. Because, yeah, that's what happened. Look.
Evil and Jew hatred. The truth is that the creation of Israel involved 750,000 Palestinians being kicked off of their land.
Idiot, you fucking idiot. Like, guys, you don't need to know much history to be able to understand this. When the United Nations divided the land between Arabs and Jews, the Jews said okay, and the Arabs said no way, and the armies of 6 nations basically came down on Israel to destroy Israel, and those Arab countries attacking Israel is the reasons why these people left their home. Israel was ready to accept whatever Arab in the land that they have given to Israel, to just accept them from the very first day. They were ready to accept them as citizens of this newly founded country. From day one, they were like, okay, any Arabs who are living in this nation of Israel will become equal citizens as Jews. They left that area not because Israel was doing anything. They had to leave that area because they were running away from a war that the Arab countries forced upon Israel. Like, guys, this is everybody knows this. How do they not know this? I mean, this guy's a Jew. How do you not know the basics of Israel's history?
And then after 1967, they've been occupied by a foreign military ever since. It is the most...
What 1967 again? The Arab countries were going to attack Israel. They were planning to attack again. The same thing. They didn't. You say occupied, guys. I don't know if you know, under international law, when some nations attack you and then in defense, I mean, Israel wasn't going around and occupying land for no reason. It wasn't like Israel was just sitting there and there was no war and they sat around. If you actually go look at the history, they were every single war, guys. Every single war in Israel's history was started by Israel's enemy. Every single war that Israel was participating in, they were responding to somebody else starting the war. Israel started 0 wars. Israel started 0 wars. They were all responses to other people. So that land that you're saying they occupied in 1967, the other countries attacked, they defended themselves. They managed to increase their territory every time they defended themselves. And under international law, you get to keep the land that you occupy when you're defending yourself. Okay, so it's illegal if you're starting the war. For example, when Putin attacks Ukraine, if you start a war and you occupy an area, if you keep that, that's illegal. But if you're defending yourself, if somebody attacks you and in the process of responding to that, you come over, you gain more land, you get to keep that under international law. Why? Because you argue, well, obviously they have proven that I need a buffer between me and them. So that's, you get to keep that under international law. But even though you get to keep that under international law, Israel was like, how about we still give it away, the Sinai Peninsula and also Gaza? They just gave it away for the sake of peace, even though legally they were allowed to hold it. They gave it away. They gave Sinai Peninsula, which is 3 times as big as the entirety of the mass of Israel today. They could have held on to it. They were like, how about we give that to Egypt? Maybe they will like us after this if we give it back. How about we give Gaza to the people there? Maybe they could have a government, given them, maybe they will like us now if we just give them their land and just they could have their own government. Maybe they would like us. And every single time they were proven wrong. Every single time Israel was like, hey, here's the land. You could have it. We could keep it, but we're just gonna give it to you. Do you like us now? They're like, we hate you even more now. So there's no winning. There's no winning for Israel. I mean, like occupied land. Motherfucker. Every time they so occupied land is because you forced them into it. You forced them into it. Oh my god. And then this is a joke, guys. I think this whole life is like it's a dream. This cannot be. People are just stupid.
Human thing.
And guys, by the way, given Israel's history, it means that they should never give up any of these lands ever again. They should hold on to Gaza. They should go into Gaza. I mean, how many times are you going to try giving up these land and thinking like, oh, maybe the world will love us this time if we do what the world says? If the world is pressuring us. Last time we listened to the world the last 100 times, it didn't work and they still hate us. Maybe this time, if we listen to them, they will love us. Maybe this time. It's not going to change. Just hold on to the land. You need it. Just hold on to the land. You need it for your security. I mean, if you hold on to Gaza, you wouldn't have October 7th, right? If you hold on to the Sinai Peninsula, you wouldn't have October 7th.
In the world that you would develop hatred for the people who did that to you. There is no group of people anywhere, including the 3 of us, who would not develop a burning hatred for the foreign military that is policing your streets, kidnapping your...
Well, maybe if you didn't want foreign military policing your streets, maybe you shouldn't do terrorist attacks on them so that they are not forced to come into your streets. They were trying to get out. They were trying to give this to you so you could govern it. You attack them, they get forced to come into your streets.
People, whenever they feel like it, killing your people with 0 consequences. The Likud party, Benjamin Netanyahu's party, he's the longest serving prime minister in the history of Israel, was founded by who? Menachem Begin, a literal terrorist. That's what...
Wait, didn't he get a Nobel Peace Prize? A literal terrorist? Hold on. So he did fight a militant group before statehood, but as prime minister, he signed peace with Egypt. So he's the main reason why you guys have peace with Egypt, and he won the Nobel Peace Prize. Didn't he won the Nobel Peace Prize? Let me see. Am I mistaken? Are we talking about someone else? Can somebody, Israelis in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, so was Arafat. Don't appreciate that prize. I don't know. It's hard to say that somebody who wanna. Yes, Sadat was. Yeah, I know. I know Sadat was assassinated for making that peace. That's why in Iran, the Islamic Republic has named a street after him. After in the Islamic in Iran, not after Sadat, after the person who killed Sadat. Did you guys know that? In Iran, the Islamic Republic has named the streets after the person who killed Sadat. Yes, he did sign a peace deal. Yeah, so the guy, he's calling the guy who actually is responsible for bringing one of the greatest peace deals between. Oh, Arafat won the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, not him. All right. So yeah, the person that was responsible for, like, he's anti-war. Well, under him, he signed a peace deal with Arafat. No, not Arafat. Sadat. No, but I don't know what you're saying, Jewish Samantha. Sorry, you're making me confused. You get the street name if you like. Yes, you get a street if you killed the peace. Got it. Yeah. So because the Islamic Republic positions was that there is no peace with Israel. So when Sadat signed a peace agreement with Israel, the person who killed him, they consider that guy a hero in the Islamic Republic. So that's why they named the street after him. So guys, did Begin get a Nobel Peace Prize or not? Like, or did I make a mistake here? Yeah, Begin was with Sadat. Yes, Arafat was with Perez. Okay. But anyways, whether he got a Nobel Peace Prize or not, he was responsible for a major peace deal, and he should be credited for that. Let me see. Did he? Peace Prize. Yes, he did. No, I did not make a mistake, guy. He did get a Nobel. Begin, the former prime minister of Israel, was awarded the 1978 Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, no, I was right. Dora, I was right. You said, ha 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 ha. I was right. Oh, we got some super chats. Yes. So he's calling the guy who got a Nobel Peace Prize from a terrorist. Okay, sure.
Prime minister in the history of Israel was founded by who? Menachem Begin, a literal terrorist. That's what Israel did with their terrorists. They elected them prime minister. Who wouldn't? How could you possibly live in Gaza or the West Bank and not hate Israel?
Yeah. A terrorist who got a Nobel Peace Prize, apparently. Okay. So we got 2 super chats. Let me respond to those. And then we go to my personal channel. Okay, Angry Keyboard Warrior saying, Dave has a point here. After all, Eastern Europeans also constantly massacre. Okay, I thought you were being serious for a second. After all, Eastern Europeans also constantly massacre music festivals in Russia in revenge for Soviet occupation and ethnic cleansing. Okay. Thank you, Angry Keyboard Warrior. Thank you for the super chat. You're always very supportive. Thank you. Yep. You're right. Yep. That happens all the time. And then we have Carl with the super chat saying, collect some shekels for the YouTube appeals incoming. Well, thank you, Carl. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay. Appreciate that. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go get ready for my personal channel's live stream. I really do need you guys to spread the word that this channel is doing good work, okay? And if you're watching us on Twitter, I see a lot of people are watching us on X. Please come to YouTube and watch the Atheist Republic on YouTube, okay? Because that's where I see all the live chat and I respond to you guys in the chat. And you guys correct me if I make a mistake. Amikai is saying great stream. Well, thank you guys. Mohsen is saying thank you so much. All right, guys. I'll see you guys over on my for the few of you who will come to my personal channel, I'll see you guys there. Okay. All right, guys. Bye. Don't forget to like the stream. Oh, I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah. See you guys.